can't tell you how much I sympathize with the way everybody has had to endure this unbelievably testing and challenging time.
King Charles immediately raised his hand to halt the entire Garter procession. Right in front of hundreds of international media lenses, Queen Camilla had unexpectedly barged in, deliberately separating Prince William and Princess Catherine. This unprecedented public incident exposed a peak crisis deep within the royal family. A top-secret insider revealed Camilla's brazen action was no accident. It was a pre-planned, dirty plot to isolate her daughter-in-law into the shadows. But she never expected William's hidden camera trap. The rehearsal room warning. 12 days before the important Garter procession at Windsor, the atmosphere inside St. George's Hall was filled with tension. The stone walls had seen many royal ups and downs over the centuries and now felt like a harsh battleground of emotions. During a closed rehearsal, dim yellow light shone on the polished wooden floor. Family members stood in a suggested formation. Tension rose immediately when Queen Camilla arrived. She walked into the area where the visual tech team worked. She focused on the large screens that captured every detail of Princess Catherine's movements. Every smile, head tilt, and adjustment of her ceremonial hat caught Camilla's attention. The natural charm of her daughter-in-law felt like a painful thorn in Camilla's side. She faced a harsh reality. No matter how much she dressed as queen consort, the public would always favor the younger woman behind her. Envy quickly turned into a firm plan. Camilla refused to share any part of the spotlight during the live broadcast. She turned to her assistant, who stood nearby with a script folder. In a cold tone, Camilla pointed at the monitor showing the procession's movements. She demanded that the Wales procession segment be split into two separate parts. According to a harmful plan, Catherine would be placed far back, completely hidden behind the tall stone pillars in the Grand Hall. She would be isolated from all the main camera angles. Camilla's goal was straightforward. She wanted to reduce the couple's visibility from Wales. She aimed to erase Kate's presence and take up the central space for herself and the king. Camilla believed that by controlling their positions on the red carpet, she could manipulate how the public saw them. She wanted to lower the high expectations the public had for the next generation. However, Camilla underestimated her stepson. Prince William, who proudly carries the bloodline of the late Princess Diana, stood at the front of the rehearsal lineup. He overheard his stepmother's cold demand. Without hesitation, he showed no respect for her title as queen. William walked directly to the technical monitoring area, his face hard and his eyes filled with anger he had held in for years since Camilla joined their family. He didn't use fancy words or polite phrases. He pointed a firm finger at Camilla's face. The entire technical staff froze in shock. His voice grew low and forceful, echoing throughout St. George's Hall. "My wife stands next to me. No one, I repeat, no one is allowed to push her into the shadows." William's words struck Camilla's selfish ambitions like a cold splash of water. This bold resistance insulted the most powerful woman in the palace before the courtiers. She tightly pursed her lips, making her red lipstick smudge. Her hands gripped her gown sash until her knuckles turned white. Their eyes locked in a tense battle. The line between stepmother and stepson vanished, revealing their hostility. Camilla realized William was no longer the quiet boy from years ago. He was determined to protect his wife and the line to the throne at all costs. Instead of backing down from William's fury, Camilla's refusal only fueled her anger. She turned and walked away in silence. But in her mind, a darker plan to undermine William on the day of the ceremony began to take shape, regardless of the potential fallout. The treasonous plot in the shadows. On the morning of the ceremony, Windsor Castle was quiet and tense. The massive doors would soon open for international guests. While guards checked weapons in the courtyard, deep inside the palace, Camilla made a bold decision. She would not accept the embarrassing outcome from the rehearsal 12 days earlier. Fear of being overshadowed by younger royals drove her to cross a line. She knew that if they followed the original plan, Catherine would be the center of attention, and Camilla would fade into the background beside the king. To change this, Camilla planned an illegal swap at the last moment. She called her corrupt executive assistant to her private dressing room at Clarence Tower. She locked the thick oak door to keep out any curious servants. On her antique wooden dressing table, surrounded by makeup and jewelry, Camilla placed a small piece of parchment. Camilla had created a handwritten chart late at night. It was unauthorized and illegal. On this chart, she placed a large gap between Prince William and Princess Catherine, leaving just one spot in the middle. An arrow drawn by her shaking hand pointed to this spot. Camilla planned to step into that space during the procession, making a bold move. This wasn't just a harmless change, it was a calculated scheme to publicly isolate Catherine. Camilla wanted to make the beautiful princess look like an outsider in front of the public and cameras. The executive assistant looked at the chart with rising fear. Sweat dripped down his forehead and he trembled. He understood the importance of the ceremonial rules. He knew that changing the official procession chart without the prince's and the king's approval was treason. This act could ruin his career and reputation in an instant. But Camilla blocked his escape. She moved closer, her breath heavy with perfume. Her intense gaze focused on him, making him feel trapped. She threatened him by using his job and secrets against him. Before the procession leaves, you must secretly switch this chart with the Lord Great Chamberlain's official folder, she said in a low growl. Her words felt like a weight forcing him to betray his loyalty. With no way out, the assistant lowered his head in fear. He rolled up the nasty chart and hid it in his coat. He hurried out of the room, his face ashen. He quickly walked through the empty halls to the ceremonial operations room, where the Lord Great Chamberlain's folder was kept. Taking advantage of a moment when the guards were shifting, he approached the table. His hands shook as he opened the leather binder. He took out the legitimate chart and replaced it with Camilla's sketch. The clip snapped shut, completing his secret task. Meanwhile, in her dressing room, Camilla looked in the mirror and smiled, pleased with her malicious plan. She was sure Catherine would face the worst public embarrassment of her life when the sun rose. But Camilla underestimated her opponent. She didn't realize she was up against someone clever and ready to counter her plans. The secret counterattack. Prince William knew that his power-hungry stepmother, Camilla, would not accept defeat after their heated argument at St. George's Hall. He understood her true nature well. She would use any underhanded tactics to gain power. The night before the ceremony, William set up a special surveillance operation. He turned the main operations room into a trap, ensuring there was no escape for any traitor. He ordered the installation of a hidden camera disguised in an antique bronze statue. This camera recorded continuously and transmitted its feed to a secure tablet that William kept with him. When Camilla's nervous assistant made the illegal swap, William was in his study, watching the entire event on his tablet. He saw the assistant's guilty expressions and the quick removal of the original document. The video even captured Camilla's shaky handwriting on the fake document. William's anger grew as he saved the video as evidence against her. He knew he needed to expose the whole operation carefully, leading back to Camilla, the true mastermind. He went to the next room where Catherine was getting ready for the ceremony. He gave her a reassuring hug and warned her to stay confident and maintain her distance. He promised to take care of everything else. Camilla felt satisfied as she watched the illegal folder being taken out without anyone noticing. She believed she had won and was ready to show her power before millions of viewers. What she did not realize was that every action and decision she made had been recorded and analyzed by William. The once powerful hunter had become the naive prey. William held the key to spring the trap on her, the king's supreme wrath. After gathering clear video evidence from a hidden camera, Prince William acted without delay. He entered King Charles III's private bedroom while the king was adjusting his ceremonial robe. William did not exchange any formal greetings or try to soften the situation. He walked directly to his father's heavy wooden desk, slammed down a tablet, and pressed play on the secret video. King Charles III watched the small screen in silence. As he saw the assistant's brazen actions, influenced by Camilla, his face changed quickly. His astonishment turned to a deep purple rage as he struggled to believe what he was witnessing. He could not believe that the woman he had fought hard to make queen consort could do something so wrong. Her actions were tarnishing the monarchy's honor on its most important day. Charles was extremely angry. He knew that if Camilla had pulled off her plan in front of the public, it would expose a deep rift in the royal family. It could severely harm William and Catherine's chances of being next in line for the throne. No family meeting was quickly arranged to settle the issue. No soft document was drafted for discussion between the parties involved. Instead, Charles decided to take strong action. He would use his power as the head of the royal family. He stood up quickly and walked to a large antique oak cabinet in a dark corner of the room. This cupboard held the tools of royal power, items used only in serious situations that threatened the family's survival. In front of William, Charles lit a small beeswax candle. He heated a thick, dark red wax stick over the flame until it dripped hot wax onto a piece of royal parchment. While the wax was still hot, he pressed his solid gold royal signet ring into it, creating a secret decree with a red wax seal featuring a three-tiered crown. This decree was not a simple administrative document. It was a life or death command ensuring that Prince William and Princess Catherine stayed together during the Garter ceremony. It also granted full authority to the Lord Great Chamberlain and the Royal Guard, ordering them to remove anyone who broke protocol, regardless of title, forcibly. The red wax seal was a powerful tool meant to punish the villain. The next day, Charles handed the parchment, still smelling of burning wax, to the Lord Great Chamberlain, who had been urgently called to the king's bedroom. Charles looked directly into the eyes of his loyal courtier and ordered him to carry out the decree without any consideration for Camilla. Nearby, William watched the entire sealing process, feeling both satisfied and determined. The trap of royal power was set late that night. An unbreakable net had been secretly placed around Camilla, ready for her to step into it and face public embarrassment when morning arrived. The humiliating halt in the square. The Garter procession began under a clear sky in Windsor. Thousands of excited people lined the streets, waving huge flags and bright flowers. International television networks broadcast the event live to millions of viewers around the world. The brass horns sounded joyfully as the procession marched out of the castle gates with dignity. Queen Camilla walked proudly beside King Charles III, wearing a broad smile. She thought her fake chart was safely in the hands of the procession coordinators and felt confident that her plan would go exactly as she intended. She glanced at the cheering crowd, feeling a sense of satisfaction at the thought of her daughter-in-law being pushed out of the picture. As the procession reached the central square in front of St. George's Chapel, the moment of action was about to occur. Camilla completely relied on an unauthorized handwritten sketch she had sneakily placed in the folder. Suddenly, she picked up her pace and began weaving through the line, stepping forcefully between Prince William and Princess Catherine. She wanted to use her large ceremonial robe to block Catherine from the main television cameras, hoping to push Kate backward and surprise the public. Camilla glanced at Kate with a triumphant look, believing she had successfully carried out her plan to overshadow the princess. She tried to appear casual as if it were just an accident, leaving Kate in the shadows. However, the moment Camilla stepped into the gap, her plan fell apart. King Charles III abruptly stopped his march and raised his white-gloved hand high in the air. He gestured decisively, causing the entire procession to halt and the square to fall silent. To everyone's shock, the king stepped out of formation and marched directly toward Camilla. His face showed serious anger. He pointed back at the line and coldly commanded her to return to your original position immediately. Camilla froze, her smug smile turning to horror. Her face changed from red to pale with humiliation as she realized the cameras were capturing her public reprimand. At that moment, William stepped close to Catherine, took her hand, and moved forward. They formed a solid wall to protect her while pushing Camilla to the edge of the lineup. This incident unfolded in just seconds, but had a huge impact. It was the most humiliating experience a queen consort could face in front of the world. Camilla was forced to retreat to the back of the formation, her teeth clenched in helplessness and pain. She had to march under the watchful eyes and whispers of the crowd of international dignitaries. The fall of the wicked queen. When they entered the large wooden doors of St. George's Chapel, the group quickly split up and moved into the private room for the royal family. The heavy oak doors shut hard, and 2 armed guards locked them. Without the public and press watching, the mood in the holding room changed completely. Camilla felt deeply embarrassed by what had just happened outside. She turned around and yelled angrily at the king. "How could you humiliate me in front of everyone? I am the queen! You have ruined my title for this daughter-in-law!" She was breathing heavily, her chest rising under her silk dress, and her eyes were full of anger. Despite Camilla's anger, Princess Catherine calmly stepped forward. She looked straight at Camilla and said firmly, "You can't blame anyone else for this. You caused the division between a married couple right in front of the cameras. Your actions have led to your downfall." Camilla laughed bitterly, thinking she had covered up her wrongdoing. She confronted them, saying, "The ceremonial chart recorded it that way. What right do you have to accuse me without evidence?" She believed her corrupt assistant had destroyed the handwritten sketch after the swap, so she felt secure without proof. Then, something shocking happened. Prince William walked to the wooden table in the center of the room. He reached into his ceremonial coat and pulled out 2 items, slamming them on the table. One was a private tablet showing a video of Camilla's assistant swapping the chart on a hidden camera. The second item was the unauthorized handwritten chart, marked with Camilla's unique ink. William had ordered his agents to retrieve it after the ceremony began. Camilla stared at the chart, panic rising as she realized she had been caught. Her body trembled as she took an unsteady step back, gripping the arm of a heavy chair to keep from collapsing. King Charles III approached and placed a secret decree with a red wax seal next to a fake chart. He looked at Camilla with despair and coldness. "Did you think I was blind? I signed this decree last night after William showed me the evidence of your guilt," he said firmly. "Today's trap is one you walked into yourself. You used lies to act against us. Now the truth will punish you." Camilla collapsed onto an expensive sofa, unable to respond as her pride crumbled. The room fell silent, broken only by her gasps of humiliation as she lost her royal dignity. The punishment was swift, carried out within 24 hours, bringing satisfaction to those in the right. There were no quiet negotiations behind palace doors. King Charles signed another decree, stripping Camilla of her ceremonial privileges. The golden key to the grand entrance of Windsor Castle, something Camilla always wanted, was taken from her. The guard locked the door with a thick iron chain in front of palace staff, ending her presence there. Camilla can no longer enter the palace because Princess Catherine now holds the key. King Charles wrote a letter supporting Catherine's role in protection. He also limited Camilla's schedule, preventing her from joining royal events with the next generation, and canceled all activities with her stepsons. On the same day, a dishonest assistant was removed from the palace for being involved in illegal document swaps. Later, Camilla told Charles she feared being overshadowed by William and Catherine, and that she felt she had no real power. In another conversation, William told Catherine he thought about pulling her out of the procession if Camilla's plans disrupted it. In the end, Camilla had to accept her reduced role, leading to her being placed under house arrest in a remote mansion, away from the royal family and the media. The story concluded with William and Catherine walking hand in hand through the palace doors at sunset, showing that good triumphed over deceit. Do you think the punishment Charles gave to Camilla was fair? Is her house arrest a deserved outcome for her actions? Share your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more updates.